Zimwaves TV is thrilled to report that we've surpassed 1,000 subscribers. But hold your applause. We still need more watch hours to hit our monetization goal. And that's why you should keep watching, liking, and sharing our content. But wait, there's more. We've introduced YouTube memberships. You can now support us directly and become part of the Zimwaves family by clicking the link in the description. Who wouldn't want to be part of a movement that delivers truth, sarcasm, and wit with every story? And now, for the real headline. Welcome to Zimwaves TV. Here is your breaking news story. In what can only be described as a great return with a side of deja vu, Donald Trump was inaugurated yesterday as President of the United States for his second term. And true to form, he wasted no time shaking up the world. His first major act? Pulling the United States out of the World Health Organization. Again. Yes, Trump signed an executive order today cutting ties with WHO, marking it as one of the first moves of his new presidency. Trump, ever the master of blame politics, cited the WHO's mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic as one of the key reasons for the withdrawal. Because clearly, the pandemic was handled perfectly in America.
What is this? Withdrawing from the World Health Organization?
Ooh, that's a big one. So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. We have 350. We have, nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally, but let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million, we were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me. So that wasn't the reason, but I dropped out. They offered me to come back for 39 million. In theory, it should be less than that, but you know. And when Biden came back, they came back for 500 million. He knew that you could have come back for 39 million. They wanted us back so badly, so we'll see what happens. Pretty sad to think of it. China pays 39 million and we pay 500 million. And China's a bigger country.
President, you spoke about inflation today in your remarks. What actions are you taking today that will have a direct impact for Americans on their everyday costs to bring the cost down?
The biggest thing and factor for inflation is energy. They screwed up my energy policy, and then they went back to it. You know, they hurt it really badly, and then they went back to it, and they started drilling more, but by that time it was too late. Many of these things that we're signing and that Doug Burgum is going to be signing, and Chris Wright, who's phenomenal in, Energy, Department of Energy. We're going to be taking we're going to make a lot of money from energy. We have more than anybody else. We're going to make a lot of money from energy. We're going to make a lot of money from tariffs. European Union charges us, they have a VAT tax of 20%, but it's really much higher than that. And that's the equivalent, almost the equivalent of a tariff. And they're tough. They're very tough. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take almost anything. And yet we take their cars and we take their farm product. We take a lot from them. So, we have like a $300 billion deficit with the European Union. So we'll straighten that out with either tariffs or they have to buy our oil. The one thing they can do, oil and gas, the one thing they can do to catch up quickly, buy our oil and gas.
Will you travel?
And they should do that.
Will you travel to China this year?
Yeah, it could be. I've had the invite.
President Xi invited
I would
you
do it,
to
yeah.
come this year?
Talking about the European Union and the tariffs, what do you mean when you say that the European Union country is part of BRICS?
That a what?
BRICS. You said BRICS.
Oh, BRICS. No, I was talking about BRICS. BRICS is 6 nations. I think it's 7 nations. And they were looking to do a number in the United States. And if they do that, they won't be happy about what's going to happen to them.
Are you still considering a universal tariff, Mr. President, on all countries?
I may, yeah, but we're not ready for that yet.
The financial math here is jaw-dropping. The United States contributes a staggering $500 million annually to the WHO, a hefty 18% of its entire budget. China, on the other hand, pays a modest $39 million. Trump, channeling his inner deal-maker, declared this arrangement unfair and decided that leaving was better than negotiating a fix. Classic Trump, If the deal stinks, walk away and let someone else foot the bill. What's the fallout? The withdrawal creates a gaping hole in WHO's funding, threatening efforts to fight tuberculosis, malaria, and HIV/AIDS. WHO, the same organization that helped eradicate polio in Africa and tackled Ebola outbreaks, now faces a cash crunch. And remember those antiretroviral treatments that turned the tide against HIV in Zimbabwe? WHO's work. So what happens if America wants back in? Here's the punchline. China and Russia now have veto power. That's right. Trump's favorite punching bags will decide whether the U.S. can rejoin the WHO. If irony had a passport, it would stamp itself into every corner of this story. And here's where things get even more interesting. Trump's executive order also recalls all American government personnel working with WHO. Imagine being yanked out of one of the most critical health organizations during a pandemic because politics. So, what's the moral of this story? If irony were a vaccine, the world would be disease-free. Before we go, remember, Zimwaves TV keeps you informed and entertained with every twist of world events. We've launched YouTube memberships, so you can support us by joining through the link below. We promise to keep delivering news with humor, sarcasm, and a heavy dose of truth. And that's it for now. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe.